right. Okay, it is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen. I'm here on the case for truth and justice with the right information to help improve the situation. As you know, the situation is critical. I don't know, you don't have to be in Ukraine for it to be critical. You don't have to be in Georgia trying to vote for it to be critical. It's critical. Getting your share of air is critical. You know, just because you get a lung full of breath doesn't mean you got a lung full of oxygen and good air, good clean air. You know, folks, we're killing ourselves well, that's part of living, right? But you don't want to rush it. And you do want to do some things that make the world a better place. My mother always told me that the world welcomes you if you make it better as you leave than you did as you came in. Finding it in a certain situation gives us all a reason to either whine and cry or complain or to go to our resources and make it better. What are you here for? Well, I'm here to help make it better. And that means we want to give you some good information. That means we want to share with you the things that are passion building. I say passion building. You know, you have a passion from ignorance usually. And that passion of ignorance usually takes you in the direction of something you know a little about. And as such, the more you push, the less you like. Whereas if you build passion based on new information, build passion based on new energy that you're committing to a project, a thought, a person, a feeling. But that's what we're here for. We do that all the time. So can we do it with some direction, or are we going to just kind of fall out? I'm one of those people that, I don't know, I've got 50 things on the table at the same time, you know, a bunch of lines in the water. Some have fish on them that I don't get because I'm so busy dropping other lines in the water. But then there's other people who focus. I mean, I have great respect and admiration for people who can focus and become great and brilliant in something, one thing. And I've been blessed to know many people who are able to do that. One of them we all lost this week, Miss Barbara Morrison, the great songstress. Boy, God gifted her with a voice that's amazing, and at the same time, he gave her something that very few of us have, and that's a focus and a dedication and a I mean, being able to be mean to yourself to make something happen. Barbara Morrison, I want you to, Paul, play something on, play whatever you got there to play. Hit the Road Jack is a great one.
Yeah. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. What you say? Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more.
Boy, I'm glad my name ain't Jack.
Don't you come back.
That's the great Barbara Morrison. She passed this last Wednesday. She's been a spotlight in Los Angeles for years. Obviously a great singer, great personality. She was also a tremendous sharer. She created the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center, and we will be able to enjoy the legacy that she's put up as a result of that. So I just want to say thank you, Barbara, for the time that you spent providing, giving, and it'll be here obviously long after you're gone. God blessed you with a voice, determination, and then he blessed us with you. So today's show is dedicated to our friend Barbara Morrison. We appreciate her existence, but we appreciate the echo. We appreciate her enthusiasm. Barbara had some dental work done when, I mean, not just, go in and have them checked. She had a lot of dental work done. She ended up, she had teeth pulled and replaced. And the same day, she went out and did one of these tremendous performances that she's becoming a legend for. So
Don't you come back no more.
I don't have that kind of determination, but I do have the respect to salute someone who does. Great Barbara Morrison. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, I'm going to introduce you to James Diallo. He is a young man who's representing, he's actually a member of the Riverside County Black Chamber of Commerce, and we'll be bringing him and others from that commerce in on a regular basis. But he's here representing a company called First Community Capital. We'll get a chance to talk to him right after this break.
Anyone can get long COVID, even Isaiah, age 26.
I got COVID in October 2020, and 3 weeks later, I started having long-term problems. I used to be able to dance all day, but now just getting up gives me chest pain. I can't comprehend words at times. It's honestly been an even scary journey.
Getting vaccinated against COVID-19 is the best way to prevent long COVID. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccine or booster near you.
Omicron is spreading faster than any other COVID-19 variant, so it's important for you to mask up to limit the spread regardless of your vaccination status. Go to covid19.ca.gov to learn which masks offer the best protection. Brought to you by California Department of Public Health.
Publish your legal notice in West Side Story newspaper. For the best service and the best rates, call 909-384-8131. Publishing legal notices in the city and county of San Bernardino since 1990. West Side Story provides friendly expert service. Call 909-384-8131 to benefit from budget-friendly rates. Whether a fictitious business name, a name change, a divorce summons, or any other legal or public notice, call West Side Story newspaper 909-384-8131. 909-384-8131. That's 909-384-8131.
There is a lot of information out there about COVID-19 in kids, so it's important to share the facts, not the virus. While COVID-19 vaccines are new, the science behind them is based on decades of research. Clinical studies have confirmed they are safe and effective at protecting kids and the whole family. Share the facts, not the virus. Talk to your child's doctor or visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccine near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Baby, this is Empire Talks Back. I am Wallace Allen, and we are brought to you by the Improve Association, the sponsor of the Bob Directory, the Black-owned business directory that you can find in West Side Story newspaper, WSSnews.com. We are encouraging you to grow America through the black economy, because when you buy black, America gets it back. We're here to encourage you to ask the question, seek the truth, think critically. Improve. Remember who you really are and continue to step up to meet your full potential. Our effort is to increase our quality of life while respecting each other and the planet we share. Let me say that again. Increase our quality of life while respecting each other and the planet we share. And I want to thank Anthony Garcia, our mood master. I want to thank Yolanda Hill for Taki Productions. And I'd encourage you guys to give us a call, 909-792-5222. Today's guest is Mr. T.J. Diallo of First Community Capital, and we are saluting Barbara, the Queen of Sing, Morrison, on today's show. We really are going to celebrate her existence, and part of that is everybody's going to leave sooner or later, and I think she made her move too soon. Matter of fact, she's got a song that made you move too soon. But We're not in charge of that. I'm not in charge of that. But I am in charge of the cheerleading, and we are going to cheer for her today. But here to my right, Mr. James Diallo is he's here to help small businesses. James, how are you doing?
I'm doing well,
Good.
Jay.
Give that to you to the microphone.
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for inviting me today. My name is Jay Jallo.
Jay Diallo.
Yeah.
And you are giving me one of those exotic accents.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and are you married?
I'm married with 2 kids.
Married with 2 kids. Okay, we're not going to sell you today. We got a handsome young man in here with a nice little accent. He's got a great job, and he's giving money away. Well, are you giving money away?
We are giving money away. So we are First Community Capital. We are a nonprofit and community development financial institutions, which means that we are essentially banks for the poor. I use that term loosely. We talk about people who are underserved in the underserved communities. We talk about people who are that look like me with an accent from Africa. We talk about people, minority-owned small businesses, people of color, all that, especially, this COVID has significantly impacted everybody in our lives, everybody that you know. But, some of our minority-owned small businesses, people of color, have been impacted the most. And unfortunately, most of them did not get a lot of the benefit that the government is giving out to small businesses. Most of the fund relief went to the big businesses. So we are here as a CDFI, certified by the Department of Treasury, to be able to provide loans, microloans to small businesses in our community.
How long have you been involved with caring?
So we've been with First Community Capital since 2019. However, I'm a long term banker.
Okay.
A recovery banker, to be honest with you. Work for.
What's a recovery banker? What I'd like to do is explore your basis of sensitivity. Where are you from? What do you do? How did you become sensitive? And what are you sensitive to as we talk about underserved communities?
Absolutely. So I'm from Ghana originally, West Africa, and then I have the opportunity to come to the United States to go to school at Westmont College. It's a Christian liberal art college in Montecito, Santa Barbara area. And after graduating, we moved to Tucson, where I landed my first job as a banker. I started as a teller, worked my way up to senior credit analyst. And then the bank took me to banking school in Seattle called Pacific Coast Banking School, where I came back with essentially a postgraduate degree in banking business. Become a commercial lender, then left the banking industry and got hired to another CDFI in Tucson, Arizona. That's where I found my sensitivity when there are a lot of small businesses that I remember when I was at the bank, we don't even give them the chance at all because either they are small business, micro businesses, or they are requesting for a loan amount that's much more smaller than the threshold that the bank is appetite to give out. And also they might be a startup businesses. So
I guess that kind of points out the question, how do banks really make their money? Are they really are they excited about the idea of us opening savings accounts? Are they excited about checking accounts? Are they excited about less than $5,000 in an account? Well, from that perspective, tell us a little bit about the inside story of banking, if you don't mind.
So banks are set up to make money. It's a business, right? They're set up to make money. So if your business with them is going to generate revenue for them, then they will do business with you. But if your business with them is going to generate a little bit higher risk than they are willing to take, then they will have to mitigate. They're trying to figure out how to mitigate those risks. Unfortunately, a lot of our minority-owned businesses mitigating the risk, it's saying that, well, we can give you a loan. However, they can take your deposit. They can take your deposit at any time. But one of the issues also is that a lot of the people don't have enough money to keep in the bank to maintain that deposit balance threshold. So some banks allow you can keep average of $1,500 in your bank with no penalties and things like that.
Or fees.
Or fees or things like that. So, and unfortunately, a lot of the people that are micro businesses don't have that kind of money to be able to become a depository clients, let alone a borrower to the bank.
So if I'm a bank and you leave or put $10,000 in the bank,
Yeah.
and you don't have to pay any fees.
You don't have to pay any fees. Most of the banks, in all honesty, most of the bank, let's just say, anything you put above $1,500 to $2,500, there will be no fee on depositing
But
that
less
funds.
than that, you're more trouble than you're worth.
Yeah, less than that, exactly. Less than that, you're looking at between $15 to $25 every month.
So we're going to talk about the businesses and basically residents banking too. So if I'm not giving you a lot of money, how does the bank make money enough with that 1,500 threshold to be satisfied that they don't have to collect fees from me? What does the bank really make their money?
So banks make their money in so many different ways. There's something we call interest fee income, which is the loan interest fee income, which is the loan that they give out to small businesses, and they get the interest out of that. And they also have service fee income, which is either the service fee that they charge, because some of the businesses have multiple businesses. Like, you work for the business. You do a payroll system. You do, merchant services, other additional services that will give the bank the ability for them to generate income through your depository relationship.
Very good. So I'll get that break because of my intro music, because I'm looking forward to hearing that. That's salute to Miss Barber here as we go forward here. Small business, they say, is the heartbeat of the American economy. Based on small businesses actually create way more jobs than large businesses.
Absolutely.
With that, how small is are we looking at small businesses in general having problems getting money, or is it really minority businesses that just don't seem to have a "don't touch me" attitude created with the banks there? We don't want to talk about that. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, I'm constantly telling people to support black-owned businesses. I'm constantly saying that our economy in the black community was very strong in many aspects prior to integration and things of that sort. And how we can build that value back possibly comes through the support that your loan system can give. And we're going to talk about that when we come back. This Miss Barbara Morrison is taking us out with her song called Don't Touch Me. She told Jack get out of town, and now she's saying don't touch me. We'll take this short break. We'll be right back. I'm sorry.
We've talked of romance and the good things in life. All you ever gave me was a misery and strife. Still I hope and pray there's a chance that you'll care. I'll be your one and only, but I sure won't be a spare. You kissed me.
This is my piece. Share the facts, not the virus. Vaccines don't control us. That's just game to divide us. They help build our immunity for safer communities. Natural remedies and herbs, unproven scientific verbs. For fighting COVID-19, now hear me scream. Vaccines and boosters, effective, science-directed, for staying protected. Facts.
Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Publish your legal notice in West Side Story newspaper. For the best service and the best rates, call 909-384-8131. Publishing legal notices in the city and county of San Bernardino since 1990. West Side Story provides friendly expert service. Call 909-384-8131 to benefit from budget-friendly rates. Whether a fictitious business name, a name change, a divorce summons, or any other legal or public notice, call West Side Story newspaper 909-384-8131. 909-384-8131. That's 909-384-8131.
There is a lot of information out there about COVID-19 and kids, so it's important to share the facts, not the virus. While COVID-19 vaccines are new, the science behind them is based on decades of research. Clinical studies have confirmed they are safe and effective at protecting kids and the whole family. Share the facts, not the virus. Talk to your child's doctor or visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccine near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
All right, we're back. This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen. We are here speaking with Mr. James Diallo. He's from First Community Capital. We're talking about accessing money to the small businesses. I'm pressing to access money to the small minority-owned businesses, Bob in particular, because black-owned businesses are the heartbeat of the black economy. And, more people are employed and making money in other directions than they are in business. But that's just the indication of the heartbeat. The heartbeat is really strong once business is strong and people are hiring their children and neighbors' children and your children to work in their businesses. Well, the kids are in junior high school, college. That's the way it used to be, and that's the way it could be again if we allow that support to flow into the businesses once we realize that the ice man is the ice man. Black ice man's got cold ice. White ice man's got cold ice. White man's ice is not colder than the black man's ice. Now, if you haven't been listening for a long time, then you may be in mystery for what I'm talking about, but I am talking about the brainwashing that has taken place with people in America that trails the concept of slavery, the concept of Reconstruction, the concept of Jim Crow, the concept of white supremacy. And that has been a tremendous marketing campaign. I mean, my goodness, I'm surprised that Putin hadn't heard about it. He's a very different kind of guy. But there's no room for growth if we are going to be constantly killing each other off because of jealousy and because of takeaway instead of add on. There's room for adding. There's always room for more. And we have enough for everyone. I can prove that by how much we waste. So, starving world wasting food is not a smart thing. A world looking for leadership, wasting the resources of our people is not a smart thing. And an economy that wants everybody, an economy that wants to be rolling successfully, should want everybody to be involved. So I'm here with Mr. Diallo. His organization is here as a bank. We're talking about how banks make money, and they apparently make money by loaning money as well as providing services. So tell us about this reason that you have for this special loan package that you're going to talk about today, and tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So we recently, because of all the challenges that our black-owned businesses have, we have decided to start up a loan product that targeted specifically for minority-owned small businesses. And the loan product, it's only about, it's a partnership with Riverside County Black Chamber of Commerce. because we believe that being able to be partnership with the Riverside Black Chamber of Commerce, we've already have a pipeline of businesses that are already been sitting there waiting to get support and help. So that partnership makes a lot more sense than any other partnerships that we have in our community. So what we provide microloans to minority-owned small businesses impacted by COVID-19 pandemic, up to $10,000 loan. And that loan is going to allow them to provide either working capital, which means they may be able to build their new website, to revamp their website, or they will be able to get some resources so they can pivot from COVID-19, post-COVID-19 pandemic. And you know, what's so interesting about the pandemic is that we are always hurrying up to move on, move on. Now we're not talking about COVID-19 anymore. We're talking about the recovery of COVID-19. We even don't talk about that anymore. We talk about the resiliency of businesses. Now the issue is when we talk about the resiliency of the businesses is that we're not talking about small businesses that are owned by Black-owned businesses. We're talking about small businesses or large businesses that are owned by big corporations.
Yeah, the average small business, when we say small business, is what?
Well,
it's really not a small business. It's $1 million or something like that.
Absolutely. So the definition of small businesses by Small Business Administration is any businesses or company that has 500 employees and less.
Oh my goodness.
That's the definition of small businesses. Yeah. We're talking about microfinance.
Teeny-weeny business.
We're talking about micro businesses that have, most of them are self-employed,
yes,
and a lot of them have 5 or 20 to less employees. That's the type of businesses that we're talking about when we're talking about small businesses. I try to avoid the word small and use micro businesses because that kind of give us a distinction. So we're talking about resiliency for the small businesses. The micro businesses are still in the pandemic mode. So they're not even in a recovery to the point where they can go to resiliency mode. So we still provide them with the resources, assuming that the pandemic is still affecting them as we speak.
Yes.
So they can help them get out of it, as opposed to thinking about, oh, the pandemic is behind us. So therefore, let's just focus on how can you be resilient and pivot from post-pandemic era.
And how exclusive it is, or how exclusive it is for a bank to offer money to a small business. And I'll say that the scam likely calls that I get from large companies that are, they're sending you these apparent checks in the mail.
Absolutely.
$200,000 if you do this. And the way I've been able to stop these guys from bugging me is by telling them what my gross is a year. And they said, well, you're not even in business. But I've got a newspaper that's been operating for 30-some years here
Absolutely.
in the area. So small businesses, micro businesses, startup businesses, it may not be a large business with 50 employees, but if you're able to move money around to 10 or 15 people.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. The amount of money that we give to those micro businesses, for them, it changes their trajectory of their business.
I like what you said about helping them get a new website or get more involved in social media or doing some advertising, because that can change your life. It can create new customers, and that's the,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, in our economy now, there's so much opportunity where we have supply chain issue. But we have some small businesses, all they needed is $20,000 so they can buy these materials, so they can produce the product that they produce and sell it at a very reasonable price to their customers. Now, if they don't have that $20,000, $15,000, they're still going to be stagnant. Now, I'm going to go back to what you just said originally about, what happened with a lot of the small businesses. They get trapped in the loan shark and the predatory lenders that send them information constantly telling them that you're pre-qualified for this. For a lot of our small businesses, if they don't know it, they get into that trap and they end up paying about $356.
Get long COVID. Even Isaiah, age 26,
I got COVID in October 2020, and 3 weeks later, I started having long-term problems. I used to be able to dance all day, but now just getting up gives me chest pain. I can't comprehend words at times. It's honestly been a scary journey.
Getting vaccinated against COVID-19 is the best way to prevent long COVID. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccine or booster near you.
Publish your legal notice in West Side Story newspaper. For the best service and the best rates, call 909-384-8131. Publishing legal notices in the city and county of San Bernardino since 1990. West Side Story provides friendly expert service. Call 909-384-8131 to benefit from budget-friendly rates. Whether a fictitious business name, a name change, a divorce summons, or any other legal or public notice, call West Side Story newspaper 909-384-8131. 909-384-8131. That's 909-384-8131.
There is a lot of information out there about COVID-19 in kids, so it's important to share the facts, not the virus. While COVID-19 vaccines are new, the science behind them is based on decades of research. Clinical studies have confirmed they are safe and effective at protecting kids and the whole family. Share the facts, not the virus. Talk to your child's doctor or visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccine near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen. We are sharing great information for you today. If you're a business person or if you're just wanting to appreciate the fact that business is not easy and even running your house is business, especially if you're trying to save enough money to invest in gas. It's not just a purchase anymore. It's a plan. It's an investment. If you got 2 cars, you probably may need to give James a call for. That's not funny. I'm laughing to keep from crying. All right. Microloans. We're talking about the importance of a microloan and having them accessible here in the United States. But microloans are, internationally, microloans have been, as from what we know, as low as $5, $10 for a person in a poor country. You say, well, what can that do? Well, if you're, I don't know, if you're in the marketplace, it might give you a little cheaper, a little bit more money to buy something else. Right. Maybe gives you some thread, give you a chance to go buy some thread and needles because that's what you're doing. But
yeah, so in the countries that the average salary per person is $2 a day.
Yes.
Giving them $20 or $30 microloans. Yes. It's a significant change in their financial life. So as opposed to them making $30 a month, they can make $150 a month. So that remove them from the poverty level line up to a middle class level line. So it's very, very significant. And like you said, a lot of people have microloans has started in the developing countries where, small dollar amount is given to businesses that are, traders here and there. But then the impact catch on internationally. And then with the International Monetary Fund, they decided that why don't we try and do something similar to developed countries? Because in a lot of developed countries, there are a lot of people that are considered unbankable, meaning that they either cannot make loans, they cannot get loans through a bank, or they may not be able to save their money through a bank just because of their financial situation. That's where the micro-lending in the United States started. And it has helped a lot of our microloans, small businesses. We have a lot of small businesses that started with $20,000 microloans, and today they have multi-million-dollar companies and organizations.
And that's, as you stated earlier, you don't just loan the money; you provide technical assistance.
Absolutely.
That being help with your bookkeeping, help with your projections, help with
Absolutely.
running that the real administrative aspects of the business. Because many times our passion for what we're doing. I mean, your passion could be writing and writing books,
right?
But it may not be keeping books and keeping up with your money.
Absolutely. So what happened is that we know a lot of people that know their business inside out. That if you're a restaurant owner, you know how to cook, you know how to run your business. However, when it comes to bookkeeping, when it comes to tax preparation, when it comes to incorporating your businesses, some of the small businesses, the entrepreneurs, they get scared about stuff like that. That's where we provide them with the resources and be able to support them in the areas where they're going to need help so they can be able to accelerate their business, having all this paperwork done for them at no cost to them.
So why does First Community Capital have this attitude? Or, community capital.
Yeah, so like I said, we are community development financial institution. And we are nonprofit. And really our mission is to provide economic justice and opportunity by providing services such as loans and small business training to underserved, disadvantaged small businesses in our community. And our goal, our essential goal, is not to make money. It's not a profit-based.
It's to make people who can make money.
It's economic development.
Okay.
It's the ability for us to say that we provide loans to these entrepreneurs, and they were able to hire 1 or 2 people. That is the economic development. And the ability for them to be financial self-sufficient, talking about wealth generation, that's our vision. That's what we're looking to do. It's not, we're not looking to, we don't have shareholders that we have to report to, that we have to pay them a significant number of stocks and prime, but our shareholders are our micro enterprises and our community. Because if we can help our community, lift up our community from the poverty level to at least to the middle level, then we are doing our job.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to make money.
Absolutely.
So there's interest on these loans.
Absolutely.
These are not gifts.
Absolutely.
I ask you to give money away, but
Yeah.
that's kind of a facetious attitude on my part. But I know that there's very little gifting, even from parent to child.
Absolutely.
You know, the parent gives a little money to the kid. He's expecting the kid to do something.
You gotta get a return of it, right?
I'm expecting some respect. I'm expecting some kind of result from. So this trading. So do you guys have a flat fee? Is it something that you work out with individuals as they go along? How does that work?
So what we know our clients. A lot of our customers that we have, a lot of them either don't have the revenue thresholds that they need to be able to cash flow. Cash flow meaning that you have enough income to be able to support your debt. We know that. We know coming into that. And we also know that a lot of our customers don't have good FICO score, credit history. We know that. That's why we exist. So therefore, when it comes to our interest rate, it's based on the spread. It's based on your ability to pay, based on your FICO score, and also based on the need to be able to, for us, our goal is to be able to create a loan product that you're going to be able to pay back while, be able to go to sleep at night and also be able to grow your business. So in all honesty, we don't make money off of the interest that we get. What we get money off of is from the grant money that we get from the federal government to support, because that's why we say we are economic development institution. So we have to report to the federal government, either to Department of Treasury, which is CDFI fund, or to the SBA loans, or to EDA, all this federal government that might give us a grant money so that we can subsidize our operating expenses.
Let me say this too about give us the grant money, because they don't give it to you either.
It's an investment.
Well, it's not just an investment.
Yeah.
You have to demonstrate an
Absolutely.
ability
Absolutely.
to handle that money,
Absolutely.
because you are liable for it if you don't do it correctly.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that is we could say the grant, they're actually paying you for
do their
meeting
job.
their standards to actually give away or make money available to make the economy grow.
Absolutely.
And so, you probably, I don't know, does your bank take savings accounts?
We do. We are not depository institution.
Okay.
So we only provide loans to small businesses. However, we partner with all the different banks that allow us to be able to refer them to some of our clients. So that way, one of the example I have, I had a client who just called me, and she said that one of the banks put her check on hold. She provided services to a company gave her a check, so she took that large check, $10,000, deposited in another
And
large
the bank wants to put a hold on
large
it 'cause
institution.
we haven't been getting that kind of deposit from you lately.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening, she didn't know that, so she called me. And what happened, I have a relationship with that bank. I know somebody in that bank. So I called them. I said, this is what's happening, da 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 da. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's our policy, but let me look into it and see what we can do.
Right.
I mean, they still put a hold on it, but it was less than the 10 days.
And
that
the
they
other
have
thing,
shared.
and part of that, and this is what it kind of angers me, and I'll just, the check was written to maybe someone who isn't used to getting that kind of money.
Absolutely.
But
That's
it was
exactly what it
written
is.
by somebody who spends that kind of money all the time. So if I'm giving you a check from the county,
Absolutely.
okay, and there's no reason for you to hold my money.
And then that check was a certified check too.
Yes.
So there's no reason, to be honest with
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
there's no reason for them to keep that fund.
Yeah, that's when I start wondering about,
But there's two things here.
Yeah.
That person is a black-owned businesses. Yes, they may not have been deposited that amount of checks, but there's a different factors that's happening here.
Yeah,
We don't want to talk about it.
No, you don't. It's not good for you to discuss the racism that goes on at this point, because that's not.
Yeah.
Did I say that? Yeah, I guess
That's
I
okay.
did. We're gonna take this short. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh because we're used to a lot of things happening, and as you're used to them, doesn't mean that you want them to continue, but it means that I kind of expected that answer, but I was hoping that you had grown up enough that we're going to do something different this time. And that's what growth and climbing and making social change is about. I understand that I'm dealing with a society that endorses and embraces white supremacy, but I don't. And I'm going to fight that as gently as necessary, because I'm not wanting to be a statistic. I'm not wanting to be that headline. But I'm also not wanting to be that headline that embarrasses my kids because I didn't stand up. So we're making a move. We're making a change. We're doing it as fast as we can and as aggressively as possible. But at the same time, I understand why people maintain traditions that are not good for them. People smoke. There's people who's running around buying cigarettes. So I understand. Just because it's good for you doesn't mean it feels good to you. This is Empire Talks Back. I hope we feel good to you, but I can guarantee you we're going to be good for you. We'll be right back.
This is my piece. Share the facts, not the virus. Vaccines don't control us. That's just game to divide us. They help build our immunity for safer communities. Natural remedies and herbs, unproven scientific verbs for fighting COVID-19. Now hear me scream. Vaccines and boosters, effective, science-directed for staying protected. Facts.
Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
There is a lot of information out there about COVID-19 in kids, so it's important to share the facts, not the virus. While COVID-19 vaccines are new, the science behind them is based on decades of research. Clinical studies have confirmed they are safe and effective at protecting kids and the whole family. Share the facts, not the virus. Talk to your child's doctor or visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccine near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Publish your legal notice in West Side Story newspaper. For the best service and the best rates, call 909-384-8131. Publishing legal notices in the city and county of San Bernardino since 1990. West Side Story provides friendly expert service. Call 909-384-8131 to benefit from budget-friendly rates. Whether a fictitious business name, a name change, a divorce summons, or any other legal or public notice, call West Side Story newspaper 909-384-8131. 909-384-8131. That's 909-384-8131.
All right, we're back. This is Empire Talks Back. I'm speaking with Mr. James Yallo of First Community Capital, a lending institution that is focusing on our small businesses, black-owned businesses in particular, but they're here to help. How do you exist, and what can we do to help you exist, and how can people get in touch with you to chase you down for some of these loans?
Absolutely. Thank you for that question, because a lot of the struggles that we have is for marketing. We have the funding, but not a whole lot of businesses know where to find us and other CDFIs as well, to be honest, because we have all these predatory lenders, and the loan sharks have such a big budget on their marketing.
Oh, and they chase you down.
So they beat us up on the marketing side of it. Even when we talk to clients and we tell our client, we can get you the loan within 3 days, 48 hours of submitting your documents. And what they say, well, I just got a call. Somebody's going to give me a loan within 5 hours. So what?
Yeah, that's kind of hard to, that's kind of hard to look the other way from.
It's kind of hard. So what we do, we lean on our community people. We lean on our community advocacy group. We lean on Empire Talks Back. We lean on people that would be able to submit that message to the public. So one of our key partnership is with the Riverside County Black Chamber of Commerce. Like I said earlier, is that we've already have a built-in black-owned businesses within that chamber. So that even with that, we struggle to be able to share information out there. So we need those. We need people in our community. We need the county people. We need the city people. We need the municipalities people to be able to help us, not just give us the funding that we need to support our community, but also to be able to spread the word out there. So a lot of our partnership is with the SBDC, Small Business Development Corporation, and also with a lot of the chambers within our community. Greater Riverside Chamber is one of them. Wildemore Marietta Chamber is one of them. Menifee Chamber is one of them. And Temecula Chamber is one of them. So that's how.
Are you primarily in Riverside County?
We are primarily in Inland Empire.
Okay,
so we support
San Bernardino businesses.
Absolutely.
Very
That's our key area of focus,
Well,
especially the
at
rural
least
areas.
two other black chambers that I'd be happy to introduce you to.
That would be great.
That can supply access to people for you. And the other thing is our black-owned business directory that West Side Story newspaper maintains on its website. We'd be happy to partner with you in that sense.
That would be great. Thank you.
We're focusing on solutions, and you're potentially one. And of course, as we invite you in to partner, that also invites you in for us to examine you all the time and
Absolutely. Well, I enjoy doing this.
And make corrective statements. And we're good partners, but I have to tell you, and as everyone should know, is that our main partnership is with our community.
Absolutely.
And anything and everything we do is to help make that quality of life better and to show people how to maintain respect for each other and the planet.
Absolutely.
If we don't do those things, it seems it doesn't really matter. You're sucking COVID air. Absolutely. If you're not trying to be fair as far as
I think we can do this in our community. We just have to be stronger, resilient, and more passionate about what we do, and take more risks, but at the same time also lean.
When have you been back to Ghana?
About 3 years ago.
Very good, because I want to be sure you're maintaining that contact, because one of the things as we look at life, it's better to be big and have a wide foundation
Absolutely.
than to be small and have a very small, tight foundation and try to stack things on top of that.
Absolutely.
And our relationship with Africa, the United States relationship with Africa, is lacking. It's certainly lacking, and the potential is so great.
Thank you so much for saying that. Even though I haven't been back in 3 years, I have contact in Ghana every single month. We have another organization that support kids to be able to support them to go to school.
Yeah, because if we're talking about business in the community, we got to
absolutely.
be talking about our kids and how they can grow into businesses. And this is the beginning of a tremendous relationship,
Absolutely.
my brother.
Thank you
Glad
so
to
much.
meet you. We got to hit the road, Jack. Barbara Morrison, thank you so much for sharing your life and leaving the legacy that you have left us. And thank all of us for having a good sense to listen to her. God bless you. Thank you for being with us today. I know you've had places that you could have been and people you could have listened to other than us. Paul, thank you for a great show. Mood Master, Miss Yolanda, and of course, James, thank you. We'll see you guys next week under two circumstances. One, if the good Lord's willing. Two, if the creek don't rise. Let Miss Barbara Morrison take you on out of here.
Don't you come back no more. Oh, baby, whoa, baby, why you treat me this way? I'll be back on my feet someday. Don't care if you do, cause it's understood. You ain't got no money, you just ain't no good. Or the shiver, you say so.